Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Welcome to Sun Lotus Recovery. And today we're going to talk about why addiction is a spiritual crisis. And the solution is also spiritual. Addiction is often described as chemical dependency. People say that addiction is simply about substances, alcohol, drugs, or other compulsions that take control of the mind. But this explanation does not go deep enough. Addiction is not simply a chemical problem. It is, at its root, a spiritual crisis. What we mean by a spiritual crisis is that a person feels cut off from life itself, alienated. They feel separated from meaning, separated from purpose, separated even from their own deeper nature. When a human being feels this inner emptiness, they naturally look for something to fill it. So they reach outward. Sometimes they reach for alcohol. Sometimes drugs. Sometimes gambling, food, or sex, or endless distraction. But the substance itself is not the real problem. The substance is simply the temporary answer to a deeper feeling of disconnection. The addict experiences a strange inner division. One part of the mind says, I must stop this. This is destroying my life. Another part says, fuck it, I need this, I can't live without it. And so a battle begins inside the mind and the heart. The person begins fighting themselves, an internal struggle. But the more a person fights themselves, the more divided they become, the more alienated they become, and the more divided they become, the stronger the addiction. It grows and it grows. This is why addiction is so frustrating. It's not simply a matter of willpower, because the problem is not merely behavior. The problem is a divided self. Modern society often deepens this division. Modern living. We're raised to believe that we're isolated, single individuals, separate from nature, separate from one another, separate even from the universe. We're taught that life is a constant struggle. And we must prove ourselves, we must compete, we must achieve, we must defend our identity. This creates enormous psychological tension and pressure. And when that tension and pressure becomes unbearable, people seek relief. Addiction becomes a form of escape. It is a way of temporarily silencing the noise of the divided mind and the divided heart. For a moment, the addict feels peace, but the peace is artificial and it's temporary. And so the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. True recovery, therefore, must address something deeper than behaviour. It must address the sense of separation itself, the sense of alienation itself. Healing begins when a person starts to realise something very profound. That they are not separate from life. They are expressions of life itself. They are not strangers in the universe. They belong to it completely. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.